So a lot of you are not going to admit that you're going to go to the polls and you're going to vote against your best interest. I learned that day one in my political science class when my professor said most voters don't vote in their best interest, and this is the reason their lives don't really change. Me, on the other hand, I have learned that this is not about party, this is about policy. So there's been years I voted for Democrats, and there's been years I voted for Republicans. And I'm not just talking about the presidency, I'm also talking about state and local officials. Because for me, being tied to a party means that I am ignorant to what goes on the other side because I'm not going to be paying attention.
She's 100% right. And I often say that the most important part of elections is what happens on a local level. The closest it is to you, the more impacted you are going to be. And so I always get frustrated a lot of times. And I got to learn how to control my passion and my emotions when it comes to having certain conversations. But I always get frustrated when I hear people say, well, my vote don't matter. It absolutely matters. Not only does it matter on a national level, but it more importantly matters on a local level because those are the laws that directly impact what you're going to experience in your own municipalities. So if you go and you look at Oakland, for example, and how they've historically voted horribly, and that a small segment of the population has controlled what your elected officials are. Now we see people sitting here getting mad at Mayor Shane Tao because she's basically tied to and her home has recently been raided. But more importantly, they have no police presence. The residents can't even control what's happening in their own neighborhoods. They tried to mobilize and try to stop the sideshows of people doing burnouts and stuff and tearing up and hitting people inside of their neighborhoods. Then the mayor decided to remove all of the barriers that made the neighborhood more safe. Police officers are basically advocating for the mayor to be removed and for her to resign. And they have no sports teams at this point. If you look at what's happening over in Chicago, they elected a mayor based off of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and Lori Lightfoot. They don't even own their own streets. Their taxes are being raised significantly. Their property taxes, which then goes to fund the migrant crisis, and to the tune of billions of dollars is being allocated to what's happening in your cities and your streets, and what's happening with the infrastructure and the police department, and them removing shot spotter to make the neighborhoods even more dangerous than they already are. And it's silly. It's so dumb. It is the dumbest statement that I've ever heard in my entire life. And so to even be tied to a person based off of identity politics, let alone a specific party, is just pure ignorance and is voting for your own demise. And this woman is absolutely right. I'm not really sure that I care about the bonnet. Maybe it's for shock value, but I'm always going to link back to the content creator in order to give them some credit and some visibility because I always appreciate the people and I always support my local content creators. But she's absolutely right. You never tie yourself to a party because that means that you're ignorant to what somebody else is doing on the other side and you're not even listening to the possibilities of what they can propose that would obviously help you and make sense of it. You see what I'm saying? And her professor is right. Most people are going to vote against their own best interests, especially in the black community. Let's hear what she got to say. We're going to cook up. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We're doing great things. And then Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off your order for life. That link is in the description also. Let's see what she got to say.
So the reason that I'm neutral when it comes to what party is going to get my vote is because then that way I'm fully abreast walking into the polls. A lot of y'all don't even know what Trump has on the table because a lot of you aren't even looking at his plate. But if you took a little time and you went to go and look at Agenda 47 or even looked at some of the videos that
Wait,
I've
wait, 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 wait. Let's stop there. Let's not skip over that. Look at Agenda 47, which is his proposed platform that he's looking to run on and is going to set the foundation of what happens in America. Project 2025 is not a thing. Anybody can propose something, but the minute that the left then jump onto it in order to try to promote it to you so you can be feared into voting the same way that you've been voting for the last 93 years, what do you think is going to happen? But Agenda 47, this woman is absolutely correct.
done so far in regards to it, you see that he has a plan that is outlined for almost every facet of
Cook,
American life.
cook.
If you
I
go
never
look at
knew it was
Harris's
so many intelligent people that had social media. Thank you to the people that now can speak up and is using a platform to inform people instead of fear mongering.
plan, which it is completely thin, A lot of what she is talking about now is actually in Trump's plan.
Yep.
And the media is going to spin it as a way that she is a brilliant person who
Which is one of the reasons why she stole the no tax on tips. She took the most juvenile one of them all, but we gonna let her rock.
came up with this really thought provoking plan when in reality she isn't. Let me tell you something about Miss Harris. She is trying to use charisma like Obama did, but she doesn't realize that Obama not only had charisma, he actually had a plan. When you sit down and you actually listen to what she has to say, it's nothing. She's just rambling incoherently like most lawyers do. They're really good wordsmiths. And if you pay attention long enough, you'll realize number one, a lot of them are blowing smoke up your ass. And B, a lot of them just know that you're not smart enough to figure it out.
Or you don't even have the motivation to go and figure it out for yourself. The most important thing that you can do is become an informed voter, not just run to the polls. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. The most important thing that you can do is become an informed voter, not just run to the polls, because your vote matters to them. When you're uninformed, it doesn't matter for you because you get nothing in return for being ignorant. It's a reason why the libraries are empty, but the concerts is full. The library that's free is empty, but all of the things that's not best for us is full. And it's because people don't want to educate themselves. You don't even have to go to the library anymore. All you got to do is go online and research it for yourself and see what's in the proposal. It's amazing how many people take talking points. I cannot tell you the most people, the majority of the people that take talking points and don't do any research for themselves. It's crazy. I wish we could actually see who these people are and where they lived instead of just seeing them in an avatar in the comments, because the amount of ignorance is staggering. It is mind blowing. It is one of the most crazy things that I've ever seen in my entire life. But that's what they depend on. They depend on your ignorance and your lack of understanding in order to get you out to the polls. And that's why they say, hey, we got to get people registered to vote, get people to register to vote. They said we got to inform people so that they can vote. They said we got to get people registered to vote. And now she's stealing talking points. She's stealing talking points from former President Trump, who has the most experience, who has the most understanding of what we need as from a country perspective, and has the best policy and has had it up there for a long time now. Now she rolls out her economic policy, which is absolutely a disaster. Realtors are coming out, bankers are coming out, Wall Street people are coming out. Everybody that has a vested interest economically, which should include you if you are a citizen of the United States of America. And let's not forget, we completely ignoring everything with regard to immigration and illegal immigration into this country. Denver is on fire. Venezuelans is taking over whole apartment buildings, and landlords are reeling, and the police officers can't even do anything about it. They won't protect it. And Mayor Mike Johnston with an ST 10 over in Denver was a part of the conglomerate that ultimately signed in on behalf of all the rest of these governors to sell your country away to these migrants. And we trying to figure out what the agenda is. Agenda 47, when we should be looking at the agenda of the Harris and Biden administration, and you want more of it, possibly 8 years of it. I think we deserve her. We absolutely deserve her. We deserve everything that's coming to us. Again, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Can't wait to read y'all comments on this one. I love y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later.